What key points should a contracting officer, or CO, always keep in mind when analyzing whether the price of a commercial item is fair and reasonable? There are two main principles to keep in mind when gathering information to determine if a proposed price for a commercial item is reasonable. First, the law and the FAI prohibit a CO from asking for certified cost or pricing data. Second, a CO should obtain the type and quantity of data necessary to establish a fair and reasonable price, but should not ask for more data than is necessary to make this determination. We will look at each of these two principles separately, but first, a reminder. The Federal Acquisition Regulation, or FAR, defines a commercial item as any item, other than real property, that is typically used by the general public or by non-government entities for purposes other than government activities and has been sold, leased, or licensed to the general public, or has been offered for sale, lease, or license to the general public. This can include, but is not limited to, cleaning and medical supplies, information technology, temporary housing, firefighting vehicles, and heavy equipment. It also includes installation, maintenance, repair, training, and other supplies. Additionally, the FAR considers services that have not been sold to the public, but are of a type offered and sold competitively in substantial quantities in the commercial marketplace, to be considered commercial items only if the CO determines in writing the offerer has submitted sufficient information to evaluate, through price analysis, the reasonableness of the price of such services. We are observing a recent trend where some COs are incorrectly requesting certified cost or pricing data for commercial items. Requesting certified cost or pricing data for commercial item acquisition is prohibited by statute. This prohibition recognizes that requesting certified cost or pricing data places undue burden on contractors, may extend acquisition lead time, and can consume additional contractor and government resources. There is a distinction between certified cost or pricing data and data other than certified cost or pricing data that COs should be aware of. Let's take a look. The FAR defines certified cost or pricing data as cost or pricing data that were required to be submitted in accordance with FAR Subpart 15.403-4 and 15.403-5, and have been certified or is required to be certified in accordance with FAR Subpart 15.406-2. This certification states that, to the best of the person's knowledge and belief, the cost or pricing data are accurate, complete, and current as of a date certain before contract award. Cost or pricing data are required to be certified in certain procurements as outlined in the United States Code 10 U.S.C. 2306A and 41 U.S.C. Chapter 35. In contrast, data other than certified cost or pricing data means pricing data, cost data, and judgmental information necessary for the CO to determine a fair and reasonable price or to determine cost realism. Such data may include the identical types of data as certified cost or pricing data, consistent with Table 15-2 of FAR Subpart 15.408, but without the certification. The data may also include sales data and any information reasonably required to explain the offeror's estimating process, including, but not limited to, the judgmental factors applied and the mathematical or other methods used in the estimate, including those used in projecting from known data, and the nature and amount of any contingencies included in the proposed price. Although the Truth in Negotiation Act, or TINA, requires contractors, subcontractors, and prospective contractors to provide the government with certified cost or pricing data in certain limited circumstances, the FAR prohibits requesting certified cost or pricing data for commercial items unless the CO determines that an item claimed to be commercial is, in fact, not commercial, and that no other FAR exception or waiver applies. Note the rules are slightly different for NASA, DoD, and the Coast Guard, so COs working for these organizations should know the conditions for which certified cost or pricing data can be requested. Instead of asking for certified cost or pricing data for commercial item acquisitions, the CO should obtain whatever other data necessary to determine fair and reasonable prices. To help COs figure out what they need while also avoiding requests for more than what they need, the FAR establishes the following order of precedence. First, if the agreed-upon price is based upon adequate price competition among the offerers, the CO should request no additional data from the offerer. Note that a CO may make a determination of adequate price competition even when a single offer is received on the basis that the CO can reasonably conclude that the offerer submitted its proposal with the expectation of competition. Second, if there isn't adequate price competition among the competing offerers, the CO should obtain additional data that may be available within the government. This could be review of prices paid for like or similar items in the acquisition gateway hallways at hallways.cap.gsa.gov. Third, on data obtained from sources other than the offerer. This could include review of commercial price lists, catalogs, commodity market prices, and other publicly available information discovered during market research. And finally, if necessary, on data other than certified cost or pricing data obtained from the offerer. At a minimum, this data should include appropriate information on the prices at which the same or similar items have been previously sold, adequate for determining price reasonableness. However, the CO will limit requests for sales data relating to commercial items to data for the same or similar items during a relevant time period, and limit the scope of the request for data relating to commercial items to include only data that are in the form regularly maintained by the offerer as part of its commercial operations. In accordance with the FAR, the CO shall generally rely on price analysis techniques. However, they may employ cost analysis, value analysis, and/or cost-price realism analysis when necessary to determine fair and reasonable pricing for commercial item acquisitions. The first and most important test for determining whether certified cost or pricing data is required relies on the CO determination of whether the acquisition is for commercial items. If the item is considered to be commercial, then the CO is prohibited from requesting certified cost or pricing data and should instead rely on the other methods shared today as specified by the FAR for determining fair and reasonable prices. For more information on this topic, please visit FAR Subpart 15.403-1, Prohibition on Obtaining Certified Cost or Pricing Data, 10 U.S.C. 2306A, and 41 U.S.C. Chapter 35 at www.acquisition.gov and the Acquisition Gateway at hallways.cap.gsa.gov.